Fellow tennis nerds, I hope you are well. Another pro player update video. Also doing some reviews, working on reviews for the Prince Ripcord XS, Wilson Ultra Tour 98, Japan only, that is now available in Europe. Maybe will also be available in the US and so on in the future. And a bunch of other frames actually. So there will be more reviews coming your way very soon. First of all, we'll do some pro player updates and some string tensions that we found. Thanks to all of you who send them in. Tennis Nerd Insta for sending your tips. And yeah, let's get going. So let's start with the exciting young talent Moise Kwame. Pronunciations always, sorry about those. Recently been signed by Wilson, now playing the Wilson Python with what looks like all power in the mains and a natural gut in the crosses. He lost his first main draw match against Kovacevic in the Open Tour de France, but he qualified, 16 years old only. He's going to be a superstar most likely, but time will tell. But another Python player, he used to play with the Dunlop FX, either the Tour or the 500, I think the Tour. And if we stay on the topic of the Open de Sud, in Montpellier, we have Arthur Fils back in action. He won his first match against the Frenchman Valentin Roger. And I was actually watching if he's going to use the new Pure Aero 2026. You can see it from the mold, obviously. Or if he's going to stay with his old ones. And like expected, he stayed with his old ones. But he started the year with a win. Talking about Pythons, which has been a popular topic in recent videos. I got a lot of questions about Holger Rune's new racket, which he's been posting hitting sessions of during his rehab period, which will go on for quite a bit more, but he's on the court hitting at least, even on one leg at times. And he's also been seen with the Pythons. I know he's been testing heads and Dunlops and probably other brands as well, but it seems that he's sticking with the Python. But time will tell. When he's back on tour, we will see if he's now a Wilson player and not a Babolat anymore. Shevchenko, who hits a big ball and has been playing the Pure Strike for as long as I remember, he is now a Technifiber T-Fight player. Makes some sense. These rackets are pretty similar in what they produce in terms of power and feeling-wise and so, like semi-stiff control frames, so not a shocking switch. In the last video, I mentioned the Larnetians Ultra Tour 98. It's been a topic of some conversation and discussion recently. I did not mention clearly, and I want to correct that it's not the Ultra Tour 98 that you can buy in the store with just a 1619 pattern. This is a prototype that looks a bit like an H25. It's another pro stock of Wilson, but in a 98 square inch head size, that is 100 square inch, the H25. So that's as far as I know. He is using something you can't buy, an Ultra Tour 98 prototype. I would like the Ultra Tour 98 even in the retail edition in a 1619 standard length. So please, Wilson, if you can make one of those, I think it would sell well, because the Ultra Tour is a nice racket. And thanks to you guys, we got some interesting string tension sheets from Ohio to look at. As we can see here, Tristan Boyer, he is now with the Gravity. I reported on that before. He stays with Wilson strings, though, all the power at 50 pounds. I don't know if it's a Gravity Tour 98, which is my guess, or if it's like a Gravity Tour 100, or even a Pro. He came from the H19, the Ultra Tour 97. Murphy Casone, who you might have seen in a recent Carousel video, he plays with the Extreme Tour, I think, strung with Head Hawk Touch. Pretty low tension. There was some speculation in the comments of that video whether he used a really high tension because of the sound of his frame. But no, it's Hawk Touch, 49 pounds. Maybe when he shot that video, he had that slightly higher, but it's nothing like Yannick Sinner's Hawk Touch tension. We can see here in the sheet Stefan Koslov's combo, which is quite unusual, confidential, and Torbite soft. Sounds like a pretty nice one, but you will see a lot of experimentation and a lot of different hybrid setups with two polys these days. This is 48 pounds, and the trend here, which I will get to, is that they play pretty low tension. So if you're a 55 pounds guy with a sore elbow, maybe it's time to rethink, unless you're on the Pro Tour and this is what you use. I've talked about this before, that for most players, polyesters are made to be played at a lower tension for comfort, but also for easier depth and better pocketing and more spin. So that's the way you should use them, really. Then some players will obviously want to string them at 60 pounds. And in Sinner's case, it's a little bit racket dependent. That racket has so much power. And I think the way he plays it, you know, you have to find your own optimal string tension. So you cannot look too much at the pros. But if these guys can play like 46, 42 pounds, which is below 20 kilos, then you can also probably try something a bit lower than what you're using today. So we have Rybakov with Politor Pro and Politor Strike. He puts Strike in the crosses, usually the other way around. 46 pounds here. We have Johns here using an arrow with Hyper G at 42 pounds. Nice and low. I found like Kirchheimer's hybrid pretty interesting with a Hyper G and Olo Power. I don't think I've seen that before, but it's an interesting one. It shows that you can experiment and you can find your hybrid that works for you. And there's not really one player here in this table, as I said, well, 55 pounds. We have Stebe, who's pretty close, but he's also the oldest guy in the draw, no offense, being an old guy myself. Go lower, try it out. It's not for everyone, but it can also be an eye-opener. That's it for today's pro player observations. A quick one, but an update. Try to make these weekly if things are happening. There are also member videos that you can check out if you want more in-depth reviews before they hit the regular channel. Thanks for your support, have a nice day, and don't forget to play some tennis.